if parenting were as easy as here's what you do, here's ABC, the world would be a perfect place.
Mm-hmm.
But it's way more complicated. You know, there's, I don't know how many parenting books out there, right? So I sort of go back. It's as with parenting, and I do a lot of coaching, parent coaching. It's really, let's look at you, parent, as a human being. Are your needs being met? You know, how do you deal with disappointment? What are your strengths? What works? Where in your life are things maybe not being, where you're not in alignment? And so we start with the grown-up.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just these, in terms of the parenting stuff, most of the time, parents, once they get quiet and start honoring where they are and what's lacking for them, the focus really gets off about, I don't need to make my kid do that. I just need to figure out a different way that feels better to approach the situation, so that it's more integrity. There's more, it's more congruent with the values that I have, what kind of family environment I want or home life I want to have. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's a really, really accurate point that children learn from what we do, usually, not from what we say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not a parent yet, so I'm saying from my experience with my nephews and also from myself growing up as a person, you know, I learned a lot of the behavior from my parents of what they did as opposed to what they would say.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. And for sure, you know, we have children that sometimes are born to us that are, you know, have challenges, that are, you know, not neurotypical developed children, have mental health needs. And so it's not like, I don't like to say like parents are the problem or like causal, because there's a lot more factors in it than just a parent's behavior.
Mm-hmm.
But the environment we create to whatever it was that that came from us, is super important, and we do have control over the environment that we provide for that kiddo.
Right. And also how we paint different situations. If we focus on achievement and, you know, being the best, then the kid will think that that's the most important thing. Or if we focus, there's this interesting book by Carol S. Dweck, Mindset. And as she speaks there about having a fixed mindset, that you think that how you are is how you were born, with the skills that you have is how you are, and as opposed to having the mindset of being able to learn any skill that you want. So if you're not good at something, if you fail a test, or if you are challenged by, you know, math class, or as an adult anything in your occupation or something like that, and knowing that you can teach yourself how to get better at it, and you can always grow from where you are now, makes such a difference. And she has a section there about kids specifically, that kids are very affected by the emphasis that the parents put on different things, and
on performance,
performance
based,
exactly.
Right? Yeah. So growth mindset, and I mean, like, bring that back to the yoga mat and adults. Like, you know, if you think like, well, I can't do that. It's my husband. I love my husband so much. Tom Ries. He's a beautiful human. And he really does not like yoga.
Really?
He loves me dearly and supports everything that I do. He wants to like yoga, but he doesn't really. He's like, I hate stretching. I mean, he's really fit and stuff. I offered a class that was yoga for people who don't do yoga.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
And I had people show up. And the way I started the class was, okay, let's just talk before we get moving. And, what are your beliefs about yoga?
Mm-hmm.
What are the limiting beliefs that you have? So it's all those kind of things that we named before. And then, of course, so what do you think your limitations are? Well, I can't do this and I can't. It's just so trippy to like hear people just so easily people can rattle off all the things they're not good at. It's such a shame, you know? So then I do this yoga class, and afterwards, Tom's like, I think you should this should be a regular class that you do. I really like that class. And he is he's an honest critic.
Important.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So that's I think an example of I could actually maybe get into this with the right environment. I can grow. Not that he's ever going to grow in love yoga. I mean, heck, we've been together for 30 years. I don't think he's going to love it. But he knows also that it's really potentially good for him. Right? So that when in that instance, he had some successes in the class. Like it didn't hurt his wrist. It didn't hurt his knee. Because we could do all these ways to modify and still get the benefit. So there's potential to grow even when you're, 70 years old.
Yeah.
So